Hello, welcome to the Biz Talk Live Show. I am your host, Shante R. Roddy. We are so happy to have you here. Every week we have a special guest, and we have a special guest this week that we are super excited about. Please sit back and relax. If you're tuning into the live, please come in, say hello, tell us who you are. If you're catching the replay, type in hashtag replay, ask your questions, and put your comments. If we don't get to any of your questions during the show, we always follow up after the show. So we ask that you just put your comments there and we will engage you and respond. So we're glad to have you here. We can see some of you guys coming on. We appreciate you. This talk show is all about entrepreneurship and small business, allowing the entrepreneur to come on, share their story so that it can inspire and empower you. So that's why we're here. So we're glad that you're joining us. Today, our guest is Adrienne Smith with Adrienne's Classic Desserts. Hi, Adrienne.
Hi, Shante. How are you? It's
I'm
good to
so
be
good.
here.
Yes, we're so happy to have you here. And we are so looking forward to hearing about your story. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Adrienne, and I'm owner of Adrienne's Classic Desserts. And I have a line of sugar-free products that I have for diabetics or just people that just want to watch their sugar. So I'm in Whole Foods and some of the other farmers markets and casinos.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to hear that because I'm gonna have to check you out because I love Whole Foods. Okay, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
search your
thank
products
you.
out. Yeah. So when you say that you specialize in um, diabetic friendly desserts, what made you decide to pursue that path with regards to your desserts? Was there any story behind it?
Well, my husband he became allergic to high fructose corn syrup, which started me to baking. He couldn't eat any more sweets, so I
Oh,
decided
wow.
to bake all his sweets. In addition to that, my uncle is a diabetic and my mom is also one. So that also helped me to determine whether I can come out with things that other people can eat that are healthy and they can still have cake as well. So I
Mhm.
decided to come out with a sugar-free line as well, and then it just went from there when I decided to start a business in it.
And when did you start?
I thought started in 2010,
Oh,
and
wow.
I've been my business has been in place since then.
Okay, so not about 9 years.
Yes, 9 years ago.
Okay, and so you said that diabetic dessert. So, like, what is your specialty? Are you a baker
I'm
or?
a baker. I have a line of sugar-free products in Whole Foods: cheesecakes, layer cakes, carrot ginger, chocolate. Um, Also, I'm coming out with a new line coming up towards the end of this year of other sugar-free products. In addition to, they're going to be even healthier than those, like gluten-free and vegan. So I'm going to go even deeper into the healthy because I think it's important for us to enjoy desserts, but also be careful about our diet and how we eat. So
Awesome. Okay, so you've been in this doing this 9 years. You're in
yeah.
Whole Foods. Walk us back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what that process has been like for you. As far as starting up your own business, it started with a need that you had in your own family, and
Yes.
kind of built up from there. So, how did you get from that to being in Whole Foods?
I would say it's been a challenge at first because starting up a business from scratch is very difficult. It can be,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be focused and you have to be consistent. And I would go to Whole Foods and basically introduce my product to them, and I even went and sold it in different stores first. and then I would eventually go in to talk to their headquarters and introduce my product and go from there. But it's a challenge. But if you want something, you have to go after it, and that's just the way I am. I'm a type of person that will meet with the buyers and set up meetings and cold call and go up and meet with them.
I'm glad that you mentioned cold calling.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it the other day about sometimes people are so, I think it's a difference on social media. They have a not so open to the kind of cold calling concept,
Right.
because you know the no like and trust factor is really big. But what I explain to people is that in everyday traditional like marketing, email marketing, cold call sales, that just basically meant that that's your first call. It's not your warm market. So you're just calling to introduce yourself and hopefully they become a warm market. But I explained to them how if you can do it effectively, it really can be helpful to you as far as building your business and getting out there, introducing yourself and your product and services to new businesses. So
Yes.
talk about that process, because cold calling is scary for a lot of people. I know it was for me, but I just had to pick up the phone. If it's something that I need or I want to do, somebody I want to connect with, I pick up the phone and make that call. So can you kind of tell us what that process was and maybe share some tips for when people are cold calling, how to kind of get past the nerves and how to approach it so that they can be successful at it?
I guess what you can do, what I did, it was I wrote down questions ahead of time. I sat down and wrote down what do I want to talk to them about. Write out an outline of tips or information that you want to ask them, and also you have to write down a plan of or information of what you want to tell them about your business, so you're able to connect with them, or else they're just going to hang up and go to the next person. So I had to do an outline of a little bit about my business, a little bit about me, and what I wanted to say to them. So when I called, I had all my information in front. Then also you have to find out and call and find out who's the contact person that you would talk to get that information. And you have to keep calling them. There's sometimes you won't get them the first time, so you have to go back and try again until you do connect. And it takes a little bit of time, but you have to stay focused and aggressive. And that's how I got into some of the stores and casinos and things that I'm in right now.
Yeah, so definitely you have to be persistent. Because a
Yes.
lot of times people, they give up before they even get on the phone.
Right.
Me, a long time ago. Then you get on the phone and then there's lack of follow-up.
Yes.
So definitely, I don't care who you're calling, you have to follow up with people. People get busy, they forget. They have a lot of things going on. I know I do, so I understand that going into it. But like you said, you have to be persistent. Know what you want and go after it. So I like that. And I think that that's going to be really helpful for people, because that's a challenge. But I think once they break through that challenge, then they can connect, make sure they're prepared. And there's people that need what you have. You have a solution that people are waiting to connect with. So that's super fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you have overcome in your business? Like maybe two of the main challenges that you confronted in your business that you were able to overcome.
I guess one of my greatest challenges has been scaling the business, growing to the next level, getting distributors and so forth. And sometimes you may lose them because they drop off or whatever reason, and you have to fill the void again. So it's been challenging that way. Um, and trying to get drivers to drive around the product, and also trying to obtain new business also. It's a challenge because sometimes you have contact people that you deal with and then they leave, and then you have to find out the next person that you would be interested in and who they are. Whole Foods has made a lot of transitions since Amazon has taken them over.
Right,
So
right.
there's been a lot of challenges there, as well as dealing with the frozen buyers and people like that. But it's a great company, but it's just been a lot of changes because when you have takeover like that, they will bring their people in, and then you have to go according to that. So setting up demos for the product to be demoed doing a monthly basis, you have to have people come in and demo your product. So those are challenges I have right now, that I'm trying to constantly overcome and make changes to according to how fast paced things are right now.
Yeah, and I think that that's good too, because I like the fact that you mentioned that Amazon took over Whole Foods. And
Yes.
as business owners, we have to really be thinking about the changes in our environment. And like when things like that happen, when you have acquisitions or mergers in the process when you're doing business, can really affect your ability to be successful. So how do you as a business owner prepare yourself for changes outside of your control that can really impact your business? Whether it's an environmental change, a regulatory change, the change that just happened with Amazon, how do you like prepare yourself for that?
Well, it's hard to sometimes prepare yourself, but you have to try to do your research. You have to stay on top of what's going on around you. Read, um, take charge, and look into the store, what's going on. Talk to people in the store about the upcoming things. They send you emails on the changes too. So you have to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. And that's why also I've decided to come out with other products to stay in the game, to update myself and never be comfortable with where I am, because everything is constantly changing. So I have to stay up on that to stay in the game, and also with my competition as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, you have to do your research.
Right.
You
Right.
have to stay on top of what's going on with the trends. You can't get comfortable.
No.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because once you get comfortable, that's when your competition comes in and you can be out of business just like that.
Just like
So
that.
we can see how even Amazon, when
Mm-hmm.
they took off, okay, and they put a lot of people out of business because they were not up with the trends of what was going on and what the consumers needs are. So that is like so important.
Right.
Um so you have this business, you've been going on 9 years, you're in Whole Foods. Do you have a team of people that help support you in your business?
I do. I have a team of contract bakers that I work with in the Pennsylvania area that mass produces my cakes for me. And also, I have people that deliver my product to other locations. And I also have a wonderful consultant, that I deal with that does a lot of my social media. And also, of course, I mentioned someone else that I was talking to you about. That
Right,
is,
yes.
yes, I have a couple people that are helping me in a lot of different ways, which I can't do it by myself. And I have a new contractor that I'm getting ready to work with my new products I'm going to come out with. So, yes, you have to have a team in order to grow your business. You can't do it by yourself.
That's great. So how long did it take you to get to the point where you have like these contracted bakers that could mass produce? Because I know that's important once you have you have your products in a store that you have to be able to turn over X number. So what got you to that place where you were able to hire out or bring on contracted bakers to really help you to produce based on the needs of the stores that were wanting your products?
It didn't take me long. It took me a minute, but not too long, because what I had to do first, I came up with recipes, and then I decided I wanted to mass produce my product. So I found I had to do research on contractors. And then when I found the one that was for me, that would be able to do the products that I needed and the ingredients and so forth, I went and met with him and his team. And then I went from there, and they agreed to do it. And we've been working together for a very long time. I've also had some situations where I lost one, and it was very, very last minute. But by me doing extra research, I was able to get another one quick enough
Okay.
to make, to mass produce my case, because I would have been in trouble at that time. So I think for anyone out there, if they decide to go get a contractor of any sort for any business that they have, it's good to have more than one, because if something goes wrong, you won't lose everything.
Right.
That's very important. I'm just telling someone else what I've experienced. And it's good to have more than one contractor of any sort as a backup, just in case something goes wrong with one, you still have another one.
That is so good.
Yeah.
You always need to have like a backup.
That's right. That's right.
So you said that you're in Pennsylvania area?
Yes, I am. I live in New Jersey, but
Oh.
in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's so cool. And so your business is not just in the Pennsylvania market. Which markets are you in?
The Mid-Atlantic market. And I'm
Okay.
looking to go to California and other locations, and also looking right now as we speak to go overseas with my business as well.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. So that's why it's good. You have to have a team. You have
Yeah.
to have a team. Like even if a lot of us are solopreneurs, you start off solo, you have to have a team, and that doesn't necessarily mean having an employee. Like you said, you contract with other bakers. I contract with other entrepreneurs. So, and you bring on consultants, and you have mentors, and contract other professionals that have the expertise that you may be lacking in, or maybe able to fill in the gaps in your business that we all have that need to be filled. So how important is it that would you say it is to have a mentor in your business when you're launching and when you're growing your business?
I think it's very important. That's how I started out, having a mentor, because they can tell you the ins and outs. They can tell you the mistakes that you don't make, hopefully. And you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes
Right.
help you to grow anyway. But it's good to have some people that can give you insight and understanding of where you're going, and also a business plan is very good to have. I went to the Bronner Institute, and I developed my own business plan, which was very important to follow that. And you might tweak it and all, but it's good to have that in place so it keeps you on track. So between that and a consultant or a mentor is very important to have, and they can help drive you and push you in the right direction, give you thoughts and ideas of what you could be doing and which you could change.
So if you could go back in time, is there anything that you would do differently?
I would say what I would do differently. One of the things I would do is I would have saved more money. It's very good to have a nest egg before you start a business. And I would have definitely saved more. If I could go back and start all over again, I would have had a little bit more saved, because it costs to also have a business and to move to the next level, to grow into other things you may want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I say that all the time, especially for people that are looking to take the leap from corporate America to entrepreneurship. You need an exit strategy. You need to make sure, like it didn't happen the same way for all of us, but if you can, you need to make sure that you have a nest egg, enough saved up that can support you while you are building up your business. So
Right.
that is key. That is really good points. You would make sure that you have more money. So that's good. Even throughout the process, when you're even as you're growing your business, making sure that you're reinvesting in your business, that you're accounting for making sure that you have enough money to support you're scaling your business. That's a big challenge for a lot of people, and their lack of ability to scale is lack of cash, right? Cash flow or lack of capital, which is really important. So what would you say like would be a tip for entrepreneurs and business owners that are looking to scale your business as you have done and are looking for ways to get access to funding for their business?
If you want to get access to funding, I guess one of the ways to do it is basically have a savings plan, and something in place. I guess you could write down how much you want to put aside each month or however way, and write a budget out and do it that way. Another way you can go is take out a loan. I don't know the finances, but you could take out a loan with a bank and do it that way as well. Or if you have a family member that wants to invest in your business, that's another way to do it. If people want to invest in something you're trying to put together and start. So those are some of the ways you can do it.
Absolutely. So I hope you're listening out there. There's so many ways to get funding for your business. So it's not always alone. There are opportunities, there are investors. If you have a great story, a message, a great product and service, there are individuals and organizations ready and willing to invest in your business. And sometimes I think in our community that goes overlooked. But there are investors out there that's willing to invest in your business. There's also pitch competitions that you may want to consider as well. So we talked about some of your challenges, Adrienne. What would you say has been your greatest achievement thus far in your journey?
Well, of course, I'm gonna say my greatest achievement is getting into Whole Foods because it's been a blessing to be in there, and then it's good for my business as well. My goal is to take it much further in other regions, and also grow, of course, with my new product that I'm going to come out with. So I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to moving forward with that and growing nationally.
Yes, that's fantastic. So I know you said that you started out in other stores and then you worked your way up to Whole Foods. So now are you solely in Whole Foods, or are you in Whole Foods and you're still in other stores as well?
I'm in Whole Foods and I'm in other stores as well, in addition to casinos, also farmers markets too.
How nice.
Yeah.
Casinos.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So what is your top most requested dessert?
I would say my sugar-free cheesecake. That's the one that mostly everybody orders, or everybody orders that one. It's a very, it's just a plain New York, but that's the one that everybody seems to. I guess because you can take it and you can, put a little fruit on it if you want, or whether you can put a glaze like a chocolate glaze over it or something. So you could do a lot with it, and people just like it plain. So that's the one that's the most requested, and then it's in every location.
Well, that's fantastic. And so what keeps you motivated? So we understand that there's ups and downs to owning a business. We all have challenges. What keeps you motivated day in and day out to keep this your business going, to keep building your business?
My faith. That's one thing that keeps me motivated. And another thing that keeps me motivated is I know there's people out there that want to be healthy. So I feel like it's something that I want to do, to have something that people can eat and be healthy eating it. And that's what keeps me motivated to keep doing this with food, with desserts, because I just want to see people, these diseases and things that are out there. Maybe I can add a little bit of something to the world to bring health, and that's what my mission is in life.
That's awesome. So yes, let your passions motivate you. You're
Yes.
on a mission. That's what motivates me. That's what gives me up every day. That's why I'm able to keep going, is because I know that people need my help. And that's why you're doing it. And so you know that people need your help. They want to be more healthy and have access to healthier food options. So I think that's super fantastic. What would you say is like your greatest inspiration?
My inspiration is somebody telling me that they used to eat one way, and now because they've met me, or they might have tasted something that I fixed, or used a recipe that I had, when I do things on Instagram, they tell me they've changed some things. And that means so much to me, to hear that people are listening and they're making changes. They may feel better health wise because they're trying to change your diet, and that's very important. So that motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing. Or somebody that's a diabetic that is now eating my dessert, but they can enjoy it and not have their sugar spike, like they would normally. So those things are very important to me.
I would say that that's like huge, because it's not easy to get people to change their eating habits.
Right.
So if you can get somebody to change what they're eating, I always tell people think that healthy is not good tasting, right? They associate if it's healthy, it's not going to taste good, but that's just not true.
Not anymore.
Right. Not anymore. So that's why I love the fact that you do the desserts, you give that healthier option, and people are loving it. That means it has to taste good for people to like it and continue eating it. So I just think that that's such a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
How would you define success for yourself?
Success would be finding a way of getting it done, having tenacity to find a way to get it done, being extremely organized, a vision of basically a belief of no matter what, being consistent in everything that I'm accomplishing, and the faith of believing that when you succeed, no matter the odds. That's basically success. And as I mentioned, people able to enjoy the things that I put out there, and they're healthier doing it.
That is so fantastic. I think that that's great. Success is consistency. Maintaining, being consistent, I think, is huge, because it takes a lot. Things come to take you off focus, to get you distracted, to take you off of your mission, and for you to stay consistent in this and continue building. I think that that's a wonderful thing. So with that said, I know we have several entrepreneurs and small businesses that are in our audience. We see you. Hi. What would be like 2 or 3 tips or recommendations that you would offer to our audience for success, to help them be more successful in their journey to be business owners?
I think one thing to be successful is to make sure that whatever you decide you're going to do, you stick with it. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have times where things aren't working right, but you have to stay focused. You have to be consistent. You have to stay driven. And no matter what, when things are not working right, you still keep going. You cannot give up. You have to keep going. That's what I do. I have moments of adversity, and everyone does, but to get through the adversity, you have to keep pushing, and it's very hard to do, but then, you just do what you have to do, and before you know it, things are going to click, things are going to work, and before you know it, things are going to be okay.
Absolutely. So never give up. I think that's the theme. That's our motto, is never give up, no matter what it looks like.
That's right. That's true.
So you have to stick with it, and have patience in that. Sometimes it can be difficult, but keep at it. So I have one last question for you that I ask all of my guests that come on. And that is, if you had a magic stick and you could change anything in the world, what would it be?
One thing I would change were people would just be very healthy eaters, and they would be people that would, I guess, eat well. I would change it. I guess I would change it that way. Just people eating more healthier.
Awesome. And since you said that, how do you think that ways that people can eat more healthy? Because I know a lot of people are looking for more ways to eat healthy. A lot of times they don't know what it is they should be eating. Some people say you should, there's this gluten-free veganism. You have vegetarians, you have people that's lactose intolerant. So sometimes it can be a challenge for people understanding what they need to do to eat healthy. So what would be some basic tips for people that you would recommend to help them just to eat a little bit healthier?
Um, I guess basically that they could I would salads are good to eat. I don't know how many people like salads that are listening, but I mean
I
salads,
do.
a lot of vegetables,
Hmm.
they're good. There's a lot of things. I have a lot of things on my Instagram page that tells you, kind of helps you with different alternatives on what to eat and different salads and all kinds of dishes that I have out there that they might want to take a look at. 60 Healthy Seconds. I do that every Wednesday, and that's a lot of different dishes that they can try that is a healthy alternative to some of the fried foods and some of the other things that are out there.
Awesome. And so on your Instagram, do you do like demonstrations and things
Yes, I do
on
60
your
Healthy Seconds video every Wednesday
okay.
of a dish that I made that is a healthy alternative to the other type of food that is out there. Like you can eat French fries, but instead of eating them fried, put them in the oven
Hmm.
and salt, you know, put a little bit of seasoning on them and then have a little avocado dip or something on the side if you like. There's so many different ways to take vegetables and just make it a little easier. Saute them in a pan instead of frying them or something like that. Or um, it's just so many ways to do things now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you
Adrienne,
for
for being
having
with
me.
us today.
Thank
It's
you.
been such a fantastic experience having you here. Can
Thank
you
you.
tell our audience, just remind them of where they can find you, where your contact information is? You just mentioned your Instagram, so if you can give us your handle. And she will leave this information after the show in the comments as well for you. So as we wrap up, let them know again what you do and where they can contact you.
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Ageless Classic Desserts, and also on Facebook, Ageless Classic Desserts. And if you want to take a look at some of the videos I have out there on Instagram or Facebook, please check in. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Shante. I had a
Yes,
great
so thank you, audience. Again, you have been tuning into the Biz Talk Live Show. I am your host, Shante R. Roddy. We meet here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk to a new entrepreneur or business owner so that they can share their story so it can inspire and empower you and help you to succeed in your business because that's what we want. We're winning in 2019 and we're winning together. So we love to hear these stories. I learn a lot from every single guest that comes on here. If you have a story that you would like to share, we do have openings for June. So we encourage you to apply. You can go to our website at www.intuitiveriskmanagement.com and apply. If you would like to be a sponsor on our show, you can go to our website as well and apply to be a sponsor. So again, we do have openings coming up in June and July. So you can apply to be a guest on our show. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. Again, catch the replay, #replay in the comments. If you have any questions or comments, we will follow up after the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. You have a wonderful day. Continue to succeed in your businesses. Until next week, have a great day.
Thank you.